Made it by the hair of our chinny chin chins. Good morning, rise and freedom. I'm Austin Peterson. You're watching and listening to the Wake Up America show on the For Liberty Network. I was just telling my beautiful, smoking hot, redhead libertarian wife, Steffi, was just telling me, about how much you guys really enjoy Freedom Family Friday. Hey, Steffi, how you doing, cutie pie?
I'm good. I had my protein cereal this morning. I was looking forward to it all week. It's called Ghost. You guys have to try it. It tastes like Lucky Charms, and they have a peanut butter one, too.
She does love her protein.
Welcome. We should make them a sponsor. I should reach out.
Don't just give them free advertising.
I know.
We've got a lot to talk about today, but Fridays are fun. We like to goof around and talk about things that are not quite as serious, but we do have to hit the big news this morning. Donald Trump is slated, at least according to the current numbers, current math, to win the Electoral College, which means that would make Donald Trump the next president of the United States, Steffi.
I don't know. I'm not convinced. I guess we'll have to talk about this.
Should we have a bet? Should we take a bet? Since you think Kamala's going to win and I think that Trump's going to win, we prefer Trump to win, obviously, but
yes.
But you think Kamala's going to win?
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to come
up. Oh my God, I feel it.
Maybe the audience should weigh in. What should we bet for?
It can't be money. It'll have to be like baby formula or something.
Something like, well, that's as good as money.
Yeah.
One thing you find out when you become a new parent is that certain things are like worth more than currency, like they become currency. That's what I liked. I think I read for a little while in the inner cities that Tide and like Tide Pods, laundry detergent became like a currency. Like people stack it up and they trade it. And
because of the kids eating the Tide Pods? Were they dealing it on the street?
No. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, not because of the supply wasn't low because of the kids eating the Tide Pods. Just the supplies were just such that it's such a valuable product and it's like such a value commodity that people could trade it, like barter with it as a currency. So baby formula is very much that way. And we saw that during the pandemic. We were just talking to them the other day about how we're so thankful that it's not the pandemic time right now because, dude, you need that baby formula.
My boobs are thankful.
Yes. Baby sometimes you need a little extra to plump up baby.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah. She didn't get to be 12 pounds just because of my natural self.
Baby batter, says Floby Tenderson. How do you make a baby? With batter.
Oh boy.
Make the baby batter.
Ooh.
Nelson65 says, love Freedom Family Fridays.
Aww.
Well, thank you, Nelson.
Nelson, we appreciate you so much. We were just talking about you this morning and how helpful you are.
We were talking about this morning because we're like, oh my God, we're not going to get this in time. Like we were just like, and we were like, just in time.
If Hazel ever, needs some extra attention, he can always come in.
Yes. So we might call on send up the bat signal. For our Batman, our Jefferson City Batman.
I see Nelson in the street looking up, and he's like, I have to go. My call to action.
Yes. LW78 says, the Gen Z origin story coming up from the street, dealing Tide Pods.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I can't imagine they taste good.
I remember when I was a kid dealing Tide Pods. Kids were eating them 2 at a time, man, like Pop-Tarts. It was delicious.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like blueberry, maybe like blueberry and sour apple.
Blue Trike asking the real questions about what's going down says, is his brother showing up today?
No! That's a really good question. Thank you for asking.
Please, no.
We've been asking that as well.
What is the answer?
Sorry, no, but maybe next week.
It's his busy season, and he's got a job and a life. He can't just give us his time to come on the Wake Up America show every Friday. Like, I'm thankful that Steffi can even do this. And, Camellia donates twice a week to us to get up early. She's working her butt off on the campaigns this year. It's busy season for a lot of people. The kids are back to school. So
absolutely.
Justin is not going to be with us today, but he says he is giving us time next Friday. So...
yeah.
So, yeah.
And hopefully Hazel will cooperate so I can stay here for 2 hours.
Yes. Bonus Baby is in effect. So if you guys want to see the bonus content, we've got it ready. It's hot. It's fresh. It's delicious. It's the frosted Pop-Tart. So make sure you get those Rumble Rant donations in, put in a quarter. You get to, help us unlock the bonus content today. If we hit $60, you get to see today's bonus content. If we hit $100, then you get to see the bonus baby.
Yeah.
Yes.
I liked your doc yesterday about Cory Dangelus and cancel culture. I never thought of it that way.
What do you mean?
I guess I didn't even put two and two together that it is cancel culture, what the left is trying to do to him.
Oh, it's a classic case. This is like the example of it. The interesting story of this, so for those who don't know, I'll just go ahead and set this up. Cory Dangelus, big school choice education reform activist, and he's famous for driving the teachers union leader Randy Weingarten insane online by
he's been very effective with his advocacy.
Extremely effective. He has been a thorn in the side of big government activists on education. Well, he's made enemies on left and right, and of course conservative Republicans who are anti-LGBT for whatever reason, or one or another, were the ones who unearthed that Cory Dangelus.
It wasn't the left.
So this is the way this went down. So Cory Dangelus, when he was in college, made some movies,
right?
You do,
yeah.
And he, no one knew, and obviously, until about a month ago, when a conservative female activist from Texas unearthed the videos and outed him for that, and then he lost his job at a conservative institution that he was working for, and had a tour that he was supposed to do in Texas canceled. He was supposed to go on a tour with the governor of Texas. That's all canceled. So he's got he lost a lot of opportunities there. But the left were the ones primarily who were attacking. The Republicans were I will say, the more Westboro Baptist church types were the ones who threw him to the dogs, to the left. And the left made mincemeat out of him because they don't care about the movies, because obviously they're...
Wait, I'm like, isn't the left tolerant of things like that?
Yeah, well, they're more than tolerant unless you're a Republican. It's like, you see, you don't understand that, like, everything to the left is about the revolution. Nothing is about, it's not really about your identity. Like, identity, you're black, you're gay, you're queer, you're trans. It's all just a means to an end to the left. You are just a pawn. Right. In the tool, on the cog in the machine, and if you are not useful to the machine, then the left will chew you up. So lie.
It's like you can be gay, but you also have to agree with abortion, and you also have to agree with transing the kids.
Correct. You have to agree.
It's not okay if you're gay and don't agree with those types of policies.
Correct. Yes, it's okay to be. It's good. It's good if you're LGBT. Great, right? Yes. But if you are opposed to big government in schools, if you're opposed to federal education standards, if you're opposed to socialism, essentially, then you're an enemy and you will be destroyed. So they lied about him. He's a libertarian. He's not a conservative, right? So
I don't really know much about his background.
No, he's one of us. He's still got his fellowship with the Reason Foundation, right? So he's still. So here's the thing, you, me, consenting adults, like, well, we're libertarians. We're not social conservatives, right? So it's. I know that offends people, the fact that some people just don't agree with their social values, but here we are. Welcome to libertarian land here. Cory Dangelus, I think it was a mistake to do it, obviously, because it's harmful to his career, strategically bad decision. But I'm not sitting there thinking, oh man, the buggery, he needs to go and confess. That's not how I'm judging him. I'm judging him.
I don't judge.
I'm judging him for making a tactical error, right? Sure. But the issue is, of course, if this is cancel culture, the left is attacking him, saying he is essentially anti-LGBT, like trying to make it as if he's a hypocrite, but he's not a hypocrite. Well,
he's not dissing the LGBT community, is he?
No. Well, here, and this is where what the left is doing. They're conflating not wanting to put the type of material that Cory Dangelus filmed into schools as anti-LGBT.
Schools, right?
Correct.
It's for adults, okay?
Yeah.
Like, that's fine. Adults can watch it. But yeah, I agree with him. I know he tweeted about that a while back, about he doesn't want pornography in schools.
Correct. And none of us do.
Yes.
Unless you're a weirdo pedo.
Consenting adults can do whatever they want to do. That's fine.
That's right.
Don't bring it to the kids.
Exactly. But the left lies. The left need to destroy Cory Dangelus because he's against the revolution. He's against the revolution of the proletariat. He is not a socialist. He's anti-communist, and he has been a thorn in the side of the enemies of liberty for years now. And so this is an opportunity to destroy him. They don't care. It's not, again, because it's not about being consistent and defending gay rights for them. Again, they'll take us. John Marsh used to tell me a story one time about his dad when he was in China after World War II.
Wow.
And they were paving airstrips because his dad was in the Air Force.
Cool.
And they were paving an airstrip in China. And he said his dad, one of the workers fell underneath the steamroller.
Oh my God.
And just got crushed and was destroyed. And bled out, just died right there, just in an instant. His dad watched it. All the Chinese workers, the rest of them who watched it happen, were laughing. They thought it was hilarious.
Because they don't like Americans.
No. It was another Chinese man.
Oh.
It was one of the Chinese workers, and the other Chinese workers saw it happen. And when it happened to him, when he was crushed, he's like, oh, boom. And then he's like an Indiana Jones movie or something like that.
It's terrible.
Well, here's the thing. Why do you think they were laughing?
Well, they didn't like him for some reason.
They just didn't care.
Right.
They don't care about human life. There's no respect or value for human life to them. So to destroy someone like Cory Dangelus, that's Tuesday. They'll murder you. They don't care. They don't care about you.
Care about inclusivity.
No.
Although they claim to preach that all the time.
They do.
We need to stick together. Solidarity, LGBTQ community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like you need to be accepting of people who are like you, or at least I thought.
Yep. So we've got some interesting topics for you on the Wake Up America show today. It's not all the Cory Dangelus stuff, but I'm glad you liked the mini documentary.
I just wanted to bring it up because I really found it to be interesting.
Yeah, it involves somebody that we know. And, he got a lot of support, even from conservatives. A lot of Republicans came out and said, we don't care about this. We care that he's a thorn in the side of the bad guys. So let's give it up for. Oh,
absolutely. I'm completely supportive of him.
Yeah.
And I hope he can continue to advocate for what he believes in.
Yeah, he hasn't harmed anybody. And, we're not going to be bullied into canceling something. You can't. The thing about cancel culture, and this is what Christopher Rufo posted about it, is that you have to actually have someone be canceled, you have to participate in it. Right. And so we're not going to participate in it. We're not going to throw him under the bus. We're not going to cancel him. We're not going to participate in that. So, you can't cancel someone if we don't consent to that. There you go.
Of course.
Okay. There you go. And
you're going to keep his name alive.
Yeah. Socialist leftists and the Westboro Baptist Church be damned. It's the Wake Up America show. We're libertarians. We love liberty and freedom. We try and treat our fellow man with as much respect as possible, at least as much as they respect our rights. And if they don't respect our rights, well, then F you, damn it.
How dare you.
The Wake Up America show is funded by crowdsourcing and by monthly subscriptions and by purchases at For Liberty Shop, which somebody just did. Thank you, guys. Yeah.
I wonder what they bought.
The Freedom Tour 1776 pocket tee. Yeah.
Oh, that's one of my favorites.
And Quest, he did I think a Rumble rant that was like a $5 donation this morning from Quest. So thank you, Quest. He's getting it started right.
We already had somebody buy a mug for Daniela's show, Culturama.
That was so awesome. Yeah, Daniela's new collection for her show, Culturama, is
really
live.
Cute.
Yeah, it's a cute mug, right? It's got the little radioactive zombies on it there. So you can actually see that at forlibertyshop.com. So we've dropped the new collections for the new shows. Yeah, so I
love the themes.
Tell me, what do you like about them?
I'm into the 1950s housewife vibe, so yes. I definitely approve of Daniela and her show theme right there.
Yes,
because she looks just like a pinup girl, as you say. She's Marilyn Monroe with a master's degree.
Thank you. I came up with that.
Who am I? I'm some redheaded woman with a master's degree.
You're more like
I Love Lucy with a master's degree.
That's exactly who I was going to say. I was going to say Lucille Ball.
Yeah. I like Lucille Ball with a master's degree.
Hey, exactly.
And you're my Ricky.
That's right. I'm your Ricky Ricardo. Babaloo.
You actually look like Ricky Ricardo.
Steffi, you got some splaining to do.
Yeah, so I really like that vibe. And then for the boys, Liberty Tonight, I really love the whole Jay Leno, David Letterman, night show type of vibe.
Yep.
I really like their show. I've seen some of the content they've been making to practice, and it is really funny.
It is funny. Yeah.
It is definitely my jam.
They did
I like it.
Yeah. I love it because they're doing like fake celebrity interviews.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's fun.
And they do all the voices for everybody.
I know.
They do it themselves.
You know, your husband has been working so hard to like make these shows amazing for the audience.
Every single week you meet with them and you help, critique them and help them build skills.
Yeah. And I released just a quick little teaser for fun for the Liberty Tonight boys the other day. Just a quick little promo. You saw it.
Oh, yeah.
And the trend. Don't kill babies.
Remind me of the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
It's because of that era. Legalize freedom. Wake up. America is not a democracy. Liberty Tonight. Yeah.
Boys are fun.
They are fun and they're funny and everything is just kind of coming together at the last minute. It's starting to gel. So those two new shows on the For Liberty Network are launching October 15th for Culturama, 7 to 9 p.m. Central Time.
Yep.
And Thursdays is Liberty Tonight right after. So Culturama is 2 times a week. Liberty Tonight is once a week.
Right.
And the goal is, let's get successful. Let's make them rich. And then they can work 5 days a week, right? Let's have 5 nights a week.
Yeah.
I hope to have 5 days, 12 hours of live programming on the For Liberty
Network. They can quit their day jobs and just do this full time.
Yep.
Why not?
We got to do it. We got to support. Drew Van Runkle, he nailed it, says 1970s nightly news vibes. Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah.
1970s, but it's the CBS Tonight, the film coming tonight, blah, 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 right?
We were watching the Johnny Carson show last night with this 97-year-old farmer man.
Oh, yeah, yes.
And it's entertaining.
Yeah, so I've been watching the old boys like David Letterman and Johnny Carson and Jay Leno clips just to kind of come up with the show for Liberty Tonight, right? And this has never been done before. There's never really been like a proper libertarian like nightly talk show. Well, I don't think. I mean, not produced the way that we're producing.
Jay Leno had on Ron Paul before, didn't he? I think he did.
Oh, he did. Yeah,
yes.
He did.
And I remember I was so excited because it was so rare for anybody to bring on Ron Paul onto the news. So maybe Jay Leno has a little bit of a libertarian streak.
Yeah, he's a little bit more. I would consider him to be a little bit more conservative there, I think.
Okay.
I would say Jay Leno is conservative.
But nowadays, all these nightly shows, I mean, they're just so leftist.
A lot of competition out there. There's we do have the...
like Jimmy Kimmel. He's so much on the left.
Yes. Oh, Andy Opperman, he went and bought a Culturama mug. To help unlock the bonus content too. That's number 2. See, the cool thing is that, I've set it up so that everybody profits. So when you buy a Culturama mug, not only are you supporting me and us and the For Liberty Network, but, Daniela gets a cut too.
She does.
Right? She gets a cut of everything that she brings in from her show, from her merchandise, monthly subs to her show, Rumble rants and everything like that. She
hasn't even started and she's already making money.
She hasn't even started. She's already making money. And Brian brought in their first monthly sub to the locals page.
That's right.
Because they have affiliate links for that. So, I mean, everything we've been setting up is like, we are poised for success. We have to hope to God that there'll be an audience. Is there going to be an audience? Are people going to watch? Are you guys going to watch the new shows?
Hopefully people will be around at nighttime. I feel like that's a good time to get people together after work hours.
It is. It's the most competition, though. I started the Wake Up America show to kind of wedge into this niche because there's a certain type of person that watches a show in the morning and a certain type of person who watches a show at night. And they don't typically tend to be the same person, right? So some people are morning people, some people are night owls. You and I, we are now morning people. You used to be a night owl, but now you're a morning person. So
how dare you?
But we can watch recordings.
Yes, we can.
If you are not a night person, you can always watch the recordings or listen. It'll be a podcast too, right?
Of course, the audio version.
Yes,
the audio version of the podcast. Wow, I'm not sure, but I think they might have unlocked the bonus content, or if not, we're like $5 away.
Wow,
something like that.
How did we do this already?
Well, Andy went and bought a mug. Latrell Williams went and bought some Freedom Tour 1776 pocket tee. So,
oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, we're like $4 or $5 away from unlocking the bonus content today already, and it's not even 7:30. You guys are amazing. Wow. Thank you, everybody.
They're excited about all this content we're bringing them.
Yep. Our staffer right now is working so hard on trying to grow the show. And over on X, we've had incredible success. The reason why I'm so, I won't say confident, the reason why I'm optimistic is because, we've been able to build up a decent base of monthly subs, right? Of like a certain amount of people are doing like the $17.76 a month and $5 a month. And those monthly subs are so important. But I do believe that with the fact that over on X, we're starting to hit number one over there in the mornings.
Yeah, you've been hitting number one on multiple days this week.
Yeah, it'll be hard for the later night shows to be number one because then like Tim Pool's on, Greg Gutfeld's on. It's the biggest shows. It's the biggest shows for our audience, or they're way bigger than us, right? But we're going to get in there. We're going to scrap. We're going to fight. We're going to punch above our weight like we do. I mean, the shows that I'm competing with on X for like first and second and third place and fourth place and stuff, they are so much bigger than us. Right. They have so much more money and resources than us. And sometimes we still beat them, baby. We beat them.
Yeah. You know what I used to do? I used to switch back and forth between shows. If there were multiple shows on, I would watch one and then I'd go to the other one. I used to do that with you. I would watch Styx. This was like back in 2015 or so. I would watch him and then I would watch you. And so you can watch multiples.
Yeah, and it's only like Quest Fanning pointed out, Liberty Tonight is only once a week, and Culturama is only Tuesdays and Thursdays. So it's not too much of a time commitment, but we are asking you to help support the new shows like Andy Opperman did. You're going to love that mug, Andy. The black Culturama mug looks awesome. It's really
fun.
The stuff that I'm going to make Cecilia, we're gonna bankrupt Cecilia because she's going to love the Culturama stuff.
Oh, and Ur's mommy.
Well, I don't know if she's going to be into the new stuff. It's up to her, of course. I think she likes us. Well, the whole point is, a little bit of something for everyone. We'd love it if everybody who watches the Wake Up America show would watch the other shows too. But I imagine there'll be people who like Daniela more than they like me, or the Liberty Tonight format more than they like this show.
They have very different personalities. Daniela she's so smart, and you're smart too. But it's like she just really thinks very deeply about topics.
She does,
and discusses them.
Yes, she's in
great detail.
She's an Artemisian vitalist, as she writes on her X profile.
I don't even know what that means.
Artemis is the goddess of the hunt.
Okay.
Yes. So it's
our friend's cat is named Artemis.
Yes,
Neil, his cat.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's right. Goddess of the hunt. There you go.
Yes. And then the boys, they're more funny. So they're more comedian types.
Yeah. So everything is just really beautiful, beautiful, coming together beautifully. And I'm really very optimistic about the future. So thanks to everybody who helped make it happen. Let's see. We might have hit the bonus content.
Wow.
Just check the note. Oh, not yet. So we got about $5 more to raise, and then we'll hit the bonus content. Then if we hit $100 by the end of the show, we will be in the money. Okay, for the
baby
bonus
territory.
Baby. That's right. Donald Trump has had my attention, but now he has my interest. Take a listen.
We will set up special zones on federal land with ultra-low taxes and regulations for American producers, and entice the relocation of entire industries from other countries into ours. So think of it. We have low energy, we have low regulation, and we have low taxes. Nobody can do that but us, but we have to do it, and we'll do it quickly. I have pledged to remove the 10 old, and think of this, 10 old and burdensome regulations for every new regulation. So if we put a new regulation in the book, which is not going to happen often, we have to reduce 10. And nobody cut regulations as much. Nobody cut regulations as much as I did, as you remember. And nobody cut them even close to what I did in the first term. 4 years. In 4 years, I cut regulations more than any other president in the history of our country by far.
Honestly, bravo. Love it. There's a lot to unpack there.
He's okay with bringing Chinese businesses here to America. He said he wants to entice them.
Well, he wants them to come and invest in the United States, right?
So it's better than these Missouri politicians.
No kidding, right? Yeah.
Them are like, keep your foreign people off of our land. We don't want Hitachi to be here.
Well, that guy lost the election, so.
Oh, okay.
Bill Eigel.
Yeah.
His whole thing was like, he came in here on this set and argued to my face that not only should we not allow China to like invest, in in Missouri, but like Japan can't even.
Or Germany,
Britain is like, okay, dude, like, go back and live in the woods. Like, I like Bill Eigel personally as a man, but I just think that the politician that he portrays is no longer the real person of who he is. I feel like he's saying what he thinks he needs to say because he has cultivated what I would call the retard right. Right.
They're very much MAGA type of people.
No, it's
the people
not.
that follow him.
It's not just MAGA people. There's a lot of MAGA people.
Well, they remind me of MAGA people. It's like this new generation of MAGA.
So it is. So remember when I was talking earlier about the Westboro Baptist Church people who are against school choice?
Yes.
It's that.
Okay.
Right. It's the people who are deeply superstitious. They are deeply superstitious, and they feel their politics. They don't reason their politics. And this is a phenomenon that you see on the left as well. This is why America is not a democracy, right? Because the last thing that I want to do, we should not have to be subjected to the economic policies of 80 IQ retards because they wear a red hat. No, we will have free markets and we will have freedom. We will have regulation cuts and we will do what Donald Trump said. We will abolish the Federal Department of Education. And Donald Trump has said we will have school choice, as these retard right people do not support. Right, the type of people who would out Cory Dangelus, for example, right? And we will not, so again, it's not a democracy. When we say it's not a democracy, it's a very popular thing for like populists to say these days, right? They'll say, remember, America's not a democracy. America's not a democracy. That's right. That's right. We're a republic. But why are we not a democracy? Well, it's because your vote shouldn't count as much as mine. It's not one person, one vote.
And I know that sounds weird.
It's elitist.
It doesn't sound right.
It doesn't sound right, but it is right.
Because it makes sense. When you're in any type of group and you're all making a vote, everybody's vote counts. Mm-hmm. And then you just count them and you say, okay, this side wins. But we don't do that here in America. Mm-hmm. No. Even though most people might want something, they can't necessarily get it.
Yeah, that's not what we do here in America. Cecilia just checked out over at forlibertyshop.com.
Just talking about her.
She unlocked the bonus content with that because she got the duck and load weekender bag.
She just loves all the duck designs, doesn't she? She's got the car cover, the seat covers.
Those seat covers looked awesome, by the way.
Yes.
The Quackers and Packers seat covers. We made those especially for her. Well, I randomly made the ducks with guns, the duck and load weekender bag. Oh,
you did?
Yeah, I just randomly made it. It's a beautiful bag.
That's so funny.
She's the first person to buy it. So thank you, Cecilia. Don't say Cece.
Okay.
She's Cecilia. Anyways, thanks for that, Cecilia. And now we have definitely unlocked the bonus content. We'll go to that in about 30 minutes. We'll play the bonus content, and we do, try and avoid commercials as much as possible. But every once in a while, we do have to take a pee break. I want to talk about Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s Shmexytimes, but we'll get there. The thing about that Trump clip, and I want to play the very beginning of it again and just go through that. Yeah, I like that you nailed down the question of the foreign investment into the United States.
Oh yeah, that's because Missouri is all about that. They talk about that all the time.
We got all those damn things in the mail, And remember what I told you when we were getting those mailers? What this was? I was like, this is low IQ voter stuff.
Yes,
you know what I mean. It plays to
they focus on one issue and one issue alone.
Right. So the thing is that most people have never traveled more than 50 miles away.
A lot of Missourians we talk to have not traveled.
They've never travel is fatal to prejudice and bigotry, and you learn you learn a thing or two about economics while you're at it, right? So, but most of these people, they're just it's very insular, it's very isolated, right? And it's kind of like Amish communities almost to an extent, like this how our rural communities. And we live in a rural community, how it works.
Yes.
All right. So
I'm not used to this.
Yeah, you can't get Peruvian chicken here in Jefferson City. You got to make it yourself. But this is what's important, I think, about this. What Trump said. Take a listen again.
We will set up special zones on federal land with ultra-low taxes and regulations for American producers.
Pause. So he's talking about setting up zones, free economic zones. They've been talking about this for decades, and sometimes they actually do create them to a small extent. I think there might be one or might have been one in Kansas City. Somebody checked my facts on this one, but it might have gone away. They said the problem is that getting the Democrats to pass those things. requires them to like sunset, and then it's hard to get them to open back up again, right? Where low taxes, like it's a zone, like a free economic zone where like international trade will occur. It becomes kind of like a World Trade Center to an extent.
So it's like a piece of land that's owned federally?
So this is actually what's exciting about it, because when he says on federal land, the federal government basically owns almost the entire Western United States. When you talk about like total land by volume or hectare or whatever, by acre, the federal government owns it's well over, I think, 80% of all the land west of Kansas City.
And you can buy the land from the government?
No, it's protected, a lot of it. And Donald Trump talks a lot, too, about energy exploration and tapping into American resources. There's trillions of dollars worth of resources that the United States doesn't take advantage of because we can't drill, baby, drill, right? Because we have EPA protections and basically, there are people who want to turn the United States into a museum. You know what I mean? Like no development, no, never, not. They're called NIMBYs, not in my backyards.
Oh, absolutely, I've heard of that.
And we need more YIMBYs, more yes in my backyards, but nobody wants to deal with growth and the problems and complications of it.
I guess I just never thought of land being owned federally.
The feds own most of the land west of the
I didn't know that.
Kansas City. Yep.
And there's like no sign saying this is owned by the federal government. It just looks normal when you drive by.
Sure. It's a lot of it's, Arizona, New Mexico, right? The American Southwest, the desert.
I probably wouldn't want that land anyway.
Well, you might. Yeah, I would. I'd take it. The federal government is handing it. I'll take 40 acres and a mule. Absolutely.
Oh, sure.
Land is valuable.
What do they do with the land?
Just let it sit. A lot of it. They don't, it's protect. There's some stupid, like, skink that lives on the land. It's like this lizard. And so it's protected and you can't
like preserves or forests or national forests.
Yeah.
Those are like federal.
Yeah.
That's federal.
A lot
land.
of it. Yeah. National forests is different because it's already been like set aside for the actual, like and we can enjoy the land. Right. But a lot of it is just, you can't use it at all. You're not
it's like no trespassing.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
will be killed if you go past this line.
So we want the feds to let some of that land go into private hands, and we want it to go into the hands of American citizens. That if there's going to be an auction for that land, they want to auction it off. They need to do it by lottery and then have it be American citizenship in order to get a lottery ticket to buy that land.
And that's a great way to raise tax money, isn't it?
It's a great way to raise money that you would have otherwise had to tax from people. You sell that land and you sell it to American citizens. And
it's kind of what Javier Milei did. He was auctioning off was it?
Land.
Yes.
And, he was
income tax or something.
So he was auctioning. He had Javier Milei of Argentina. We love Javier Milei.
Yes.
Afuera. He had an auction. Never paid taxes again.
Yes.
For a lottery. So all of these like rich billionaires came in, and because they needed a one-time cash infusion, like a quick, like massive cash infusion to like get their economy roaring back to life.
Right.
So he allowed rich people to compete for the chance to never pay taxes again. So what happens is the billionaires and the billionaires, they go, how much am I estimated to pay in taxes over the next 20, 30 years and I'll be alive? And they go, well, it makes sense. All for if I can pay 10 billion now to save 20 billion later, I'll do it. And then you get a cash injection, and then you don't tax that one billionaire for the rest of their lives or whatever, right? They're still probably paying taxes in other ways, but they're not paying like the federal the income tax or the equivalent. Right?
Yeah. So lotteries and auctions, they're great.
Floby Tenderson says there's a lot more nuance to federal lands that's being simplified and glossed over in this discussion. Absolutely right. True.
I mean, I know nothing about this topic.
Yeah, and we're not going to spend time getting into those details.
Right.
We don't have time. But the point is that Trump wants to set aside some federal lands to create free trade zones here in the United States. Now, here's the thing. The entire United States should be a free trade zone. Thank you. But if we can't have freedom here in the rest of the United States, if we create these economic free trade zones, then they become hubs for businesses. That's where, like, how you and I have been tossing around the idea of starting another business for like storage facility, for example.
Yes.
So that might be a good place to go open up a new storage facility, right? Because maybe, there's probably, if there's going to be trade, there's going to be, a need for storage of goods. So that would be a great place. And because everywhere I look in Missouri, every city has like there's a glut of storage facilities. So we need to find a place that's new that we can invest in that doesn't have that competition. We've got to like do the market research. But if they do that, that's like it's like printing money, right? There's certain economic opportunities that present themselves in your lives that you have to take advantage of while they're hot, or you miss out on the opportunity, miss the boat. Like some people miss the boat on Bitcoin. Some people miss the boat on oil prices during COVID-19. I did not. That one, thankfully, I spent a lot of money to buy, oil stocks, and that's done well from COVID-19. But
so there's certain areas in the U.S. that have free trade and certain ones that don't?
There may be right now, like at least one place in the United States that we have this free trade zone, but it might have expired. So I would like someone to fact check me on that. And if you find that information, please do text it to me at 5. I just can't remember it off the top of my head.
So that means you could trade with China as much as you want.
In theory.
They wouldn't be penalized.
In theory. In theory, it would be a place where American business is what he seems to be saying. Because here, listen to it again.
Ultra low taxes and regulations for. We will set up special zones on federal land with ultra low taxes and regulations for American producers. American producers. And entice the relocation of entire industries from other countries into ours. So
other industries. So he's talking about American-owned businesses, not Chinese-owned businesses, but like.
But then he said foreign industries. Well,
so for example, right now, in order for us to compete with Amazon and with all these people online on e-commerce, we have to source blank products from China often, not always, but often.
Correct.
And in order for us to be able to make the margins to compete with people who can buy at scale, and Jeff Bezos can eat our lunch, right? And we have to have higher profit margins. So we have to do this. But wouldn't it be nice, and especially better for timing in terms of delivery of products to our customers, if you could manufacture, instead of sourcing the blanks from China, we could source them here in the United States and do so reasonably. The only way you can do that, it's not raising tariffs. The only way to do that is to cut taxes and regulations here.
Right.
To have if you had a free trade zone, in theory, with low taxes and low regulations, then instead of it costing, $5 to produce a hat here in the United States, it might cost $2.50 or $2 to produce a hat here in the United States. And maybe even, China might be like, $1 or $1.50. But people will, if you can inch that price lower and get closer to it's American made and it's pretty good in price. I think people choose American made when they can, if they can. We do. We certainly do when we can.
We would be paying our workers, having children at the factory.
But our money would be worth more. Our money would be worth more.
Yes.
And more valuable. And we would have, you have to understand that like there are unintended consequences that happen from government behavior that are bad, and there are unintended consequences from the free market and capitalism that are good, that we can't even foresee what would happen, or the dynamism of the American economy if it's unleashed. Because as the Federal Trade Commission in DC, when we were there for the Cherry Blossom Festival, you saw the beautiful horse, the man pulling the horse.
Yes, I remember that.
And the symbology of that was what?
Oh my gosh, you explained it to me. The man pulling the horse. I don't remember.
Outside the Federal Trade Commission.
I remember seeing it, but I don't remember the meaning behind it.
It's a Depression era Art Deco statue of a man who is restraining a horse, and it's a symbol of the restraint of trade.
Oh, okay.
It truly is an affront to people like you and I who believe in the liberalization of trade, free trade, lower taxes, lower regulations, because what it represents is the power that the government has over our ability to trade and transact with one another freely. So Trump, he's titillating my libertarian economic instincts when he says things like this, and it really just makes me pine or yearn for another Trump presidency. It's things like this that make me go, I love what I'm hearing, and I will enthusiastically vote for Donald Trump this fall. What about you?
Well, I will vote for him. But the thing is, a lot of these things that he says, they're easier said than done.
Absolutely.
They're very complicated. Mm-hmm. And I think people just simplify them so much. Mm-hmm. And so because these are really complex concepts that he's talking about, things that, I don't understand, and I've read him in action. So it's like I would have to do a lot more studying to really understand what exactly would be happening under these things he's promising.
The best class I ever took, the most interesting class I ever took, and I took some interesting classes, was at the Foundation for Economic Education back when they still had the classroom up in just outside New York City. And I took a week-long seminar. It was called Advanced Austrian Economics.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it was so good. And one of the classes, the teachers there were all like Austrian economists. It was great. But one of the classes that I took was the economic history of the 20th century. So it took all of the history and then all the economics, and it was the economic history of the 20th century. So from the 1900s to 2000,
Whoa.
It was fascinating because it paired my understanding of history and like the knowledge of economics together so that you could understand how the economic systems, specifically of the United States, evolved from 1900 until today, right? So in the early 1900s, the Progressive Era, the Great Depression, the New Deal, the 1950s and 60s, NATO, end of World War II, NATO, and the Cold War fight against communism, socialism, the LBJ and the Great Society, and the dark years of Jimmy Carter and the economic melees until Ronald Reagan comes in and conservatism is renewed and restored. Markets are liberalized to an extent. And the United States takes kind of a turn back towards conservatism, and then a weird sort of pitch into what neoconservatism. But the economic policies of John Maynard Keynes and Friedrich Hayek and Ludwig von Mises and all of these economists that shape who we are today.
Yes,
I gave a speech to an economics class the other day.
I know, that was so cool.
That was fun, right?
I really like when you teach young people. I think you're really good at it.
Thank you very much, Quest Fanning, for that Rumble rant. We appreciate that.
Thank you, Quest.
We're almost, we're like $20 away from the bonus baby. So keep it out, guys. We appreciate the support. Where were we going with this? You
were talking about the fee class that you took.
The fee,
and I was just saying how these concepts that Trump is talking about are just so complex.
They are
for most people to understand.
They are. They're extremely complex. And for me, I think that this is my argument on tariffs when libertarians are like, Trump is for tariffs. And I don't agree with him on this. But Trump doesn't look at tariffs as an economic policy, really, so much. It's more of a I'm going to say a bad word. Mm-hmm. Trump uses tariffs as a way to say, fuck you.
To China.
And other countries who place tariffs and restrictions on us. He uses them more as a diplomacy tool rather than an economic tool.
I could see that.
Yeah, I think because I've heard him say before, I wish I could find the clip. And if somebody has it, please text it to me, the number on the screen. But Trump has said that he would remove all tariffs and he would drop all tariffs on other countries if they dropped them all on us.
An eye for an eye.
Well, to that extent. So that's his argument. I may not necessarily agree with it because Frederick Bastiat had that same concept that was proposed to him. Why are you smiling? You love it when your husband quotes Bastiat?
Yeah.
I
read the law.
Yeah, he talked about the law perverted and the police powers of the state perverted along with it. And speaking of perverted, my baby girl, Shmexytimes.
I love it when you quote things.
Shmexytimes with Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
No.
We'll get there.
He's so gross.
We'll get there. Oh, and a lot of women think he's hot. We'll talk about that. We'll get there. And we're also going to play Who Wants to Be a Libertarian Millionaire at the end of the show. So it'll be fun.
Probably not me. I won't become a millionaire.
Yes, you will, because I will.
Right. I'll just ride on your coattails.
There we go. Exactly. So tariffs is the way Bastiat argued it is like if your enemy throws rocks in their harbor, do you do the same?
Retaliation.
Right. The point is that tariffs you're kicking yourself in the nuts with tariffs.
Yeah. Because your prices go up.
Right.
Our grocery prices will go up.
Remember when I talked to you about the retard right?
Yes.
There are people who thought that Mexico would pay for the wall. Like there are people who thought that tariffs are paid for by China.
Right. I used to think so as well until I actually looked into it.
Yes. No. We pay the tariff.
Right.
We pay it.
There's a lot of misconceptions.
And then the retard right says, it's the corporations, man. They're the ones who are going to pay it, man. And they're like, they pass the cost on to the consumer. You retard.
And we pay for it.
And we pay for it at the local stores. It has an inflationary effect. It's taxes on us.
Right.
You idiots. Rich people don't pay the taxes. But they think right, left, retard, doesn't matter. They think they hate rich people and they think they're getting screwed. And in some cases they are getting screwed by rich people, like that rich union guy. By the way, they ended the union strike like in 2 days.
Yes.
I think Ron DeSantis might get the credit for this, by the way, because he like called in the National Guard to like step in to unload stuff. So yeah, it was pretty awesome. Let's give it up for DeSantis. That was a nice move.
Boy. The unions, they've got to have their right to picket.
Yes. So those are rich guys who are taking advantage of us, right? Those are good. They get rich through extortion and blackmail, right? They get rich by being like Tony Soprano, right? Not by providing value to society, but because they're thugs,
right?
And like those typically tend to be like an Ayn Rand character, like a Wesley Mooch in an Ayn Rand novel, where it's a parasite, not a producer, right? You and I, we're producers.
That's right. We give back to our community.
Yeah, we're capitalists and entrepreneurs. You know, Javier Milei, I played a clip yesterday of him talking about entrepreneurs, and I posted it, where I said, because he said entrepreneurs are the real heroes. And I said, Javier, I've been calling Javier Milei a hero every day. Now he's saying I'm the real hero. And then he retweeted it. And I was like, yeah.
There we go. I have your Halloween costume. Wear a cape. Wear a cape and be like, I'm an entrepreneur hero.
No. You know what I should be for Halloween this year? It'll be easy. I should be Javier Milei. That'd be awesome.
Oh, my goodness.
That's what I'll do. I'm going to get a wig.
That's so funny.
That'll be fun. Afuera.
He's going to love it.
Yeah, he'll love it. I'll take pictures and videos.
He's going to repost you.
Well, you know what we'll have to do? I'll have to recreate his Afuera. We'll do the video where we'll get a little poster board or whatever, and I'll like put up the government agencies.
Yes.
And we'll do the Afuera video. We'll recreate it. What do you say? You want to do it?
And I'll be Rosie the Riveter, and so will Hazel.
Yeah, so you'll be you both are going to be Rosie the Riveter, and I'm going to be Javier Milei, and we're going to have an awesome time. I can't wait.
Look at that. How fun.
That'll be fun. I just have to wear a suit.
And have fun hair.
Yeah, or he also like wears a black leather jacket sometimes. But in that video...
You have a leather jacket.
Of course I do, baby. I'm a sexy, schmexy man.
I know.
Like Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
You are way sexier than RFK Jr. Let me just say.
No, Kennedys are sexy men. All right. Speaking of sexy times, Melania Trump had something to say about post-coital.
Individual freedom is a fundamental principle that I safeguard. Without a doubt, there is no room for compromise when it comes to this essential right that all women possess from birth: individual freedom. What does my body, my choice really mean?
Why did you do that, Melania? She just probably got Trump to lose so many votes with that.
Yes and no. I mean, you don't want to rattle your base right before the election, but Jesse Kelly, he's a conservative radio host out of D.C., says, I guess we didn't know how good we had it when she just hid away for months at a time without hearing from her. You can miss with this demonic baby murdering crap, no matter what your last name happens to be. It's not your body, it's your baby. Don't murder it. Agreed.
The only way that this video could actually have a positive twist is if she was wearing lingerie while talking about her body, her choice.
Stephanie.
Was she like wearing something sexy, like my body, my choice? You know what? She's been in America for how long now? She should have had some voice lessons to learn how to speak better.
She speaks like 6 different languages. So
okay.
If somebody can, here's the rule on that. You can tell somebody to speak more like your language when
speak like me.
When you can speak more languages than they do. How's that sound?
You're right. You're right. Sorry. Yeah, you're totally right. It's just like she just sounds so like she can't speak English. She's been here forever. Kind of like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah. He'll never lose his accent.
Speaking of my body, my choice, Jimmy Carter was trotted out and apparently made a quote the other day, allegedly, but here's the state he's in. Take a look at this. Now, he is actually alive there.
I didn't know he's alive. I thought he was dead.
Lean forward. Look at him.
Oh my God, that's so sad.
Jimmy Carter. My body, my choice.
Is he in a nursing home?
He's on hospice.
Oh, he's dying.
Yeah. So he can't use the bathroom on his own. He can't close his mouth. He's on heavy end of life drugs. And the family issued a statement saying it was from him. And here's his statement. He said he didn't care about his birthday. It's just a birthday. He said he cared about voting for Kamala Harris.
Okay, with his mouth open. You know, like how in the heck is he forming his words right now?
Yeah. He's like this. I don't care about voting for Kamala Harris.
Maybe he writes. Maybe he wrote the words down on a piece of paper. Or he sign language.
Yeah.
Maybe he's speaking with his hands.
Yeah, but that's some bullshit. Carter's son says that he didn't care about his birthday. I bet he doesn't care about his birthday. I wish he's like, Jen, the pig can't kill me. Like
getting old is really sad and really hard. I mean, I'm sure we'll look like that one day.
Just don't post videos of me out there like that. Don't say, just wanted to for some gay politician one more time, listen, my life is very political, deeply political. Yes, absolutely. But this is not absolutely everything that defines me. You know what I mean?
It's so sad. I mean, they're using him, just to further this political
for
thing.
Kamala Harris, right?
It's so sad.
Imagine
they're really using that emotion right there. That's how they're manipulating people.
Okay, 6 weeks ago, or 2 months ago, nobody liked Kamala Harris. None of them, not the Democrats or whatever. And you're telling me now that Jimmy Carter, and with the light dying from his eyes,
those are his last.
That words. His last words that he wanted people to know is that he just wanted to stay alive to vote for Kamala Harris. Now, don't get me wrong. Are there 6 psychopathic Democratic leftists who have done things like this? Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I think there have been people who throughout history who have been trotted out to die. I think there was one who was like the decisive vote. It may have been Ted Kennedy, but there have been other situations like this where they actually did like show up to vote. And it's like, it wasn't just like Dianne Feinstein, where she was like, ooh. There's something you see on the Culturama promos.
Did they die at the voting poll while they were checking off
some
the
of
boxes?
Some of them. However, there has been at least, I will say this, and this is a little history lesson. There has been at least one instance of a man who did it for patriotic reasons. And his name was Elbridge Jerry. And he was one of the founding fathers of the United States.
So what did he do?
He had jaw cancer. If you've ever seen 1776 the musical, you'll know this story. But Elbridge Jerry he had cancer of the jaw, so he had to have a thing around his jaw, like you would have an eye patch, and it was
because they didn't have faces that they could transplant on him just yet.
He had a sling to keep his jaw on, because they had to rip out the cancer. So, but Elbridge Jerry was laying at home, dying in bed, and they did not have enough votes. I think it was maybe Delaware, but they didn't have enough votes to pass the Declaration of Independence because the Southern slaveholders they were holding out for, and New York was abstaining in their votes. So they needed Elbridge Jerry because I think it was Massachusetts, Benjamin Franklin and Elbridge Jerry, and then one member of the Massachusetts delegation. There were 3. Mm-hmm. So it was Benjamin Franklin versus the guy who was holding out on the Declaration. And so they actually, I think Benjamin Franklin and John Adams sent for Elbridge Jerry to come from his deathbed.
Oh my God.
To Independence Hall in Philadelphia and to cast the deciding vote for the Declaration of Independence. So
and he actually made it, this guy. While he was dying.
He made it. Look him up. Elbridge.
That's terrible. You should make a doc on that guy. That would be so interesting.
Story. Well, there's been a lot written. There's been a lot of ink spilled. Oh, Cecilia just went back over to the shop and bought herself a keychain. And she bought the Culturama mug. I thought you said you had too many mugs.
And she bought a keychain? A gun keychain?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be packaging that up, Cecilia. I'll write you a special note.
Yeah, make sure you do a little special note for Cecilia.
That's right.
We appreciate you all very much, and we're grateful for all the support we get from the Wake Up America show audience.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Impressive.
I think with that definitely unlocks the bonus babies. So we're going to be watching.
Good job, everybody.
But I did promise that you would get some bonus content. So I have to load that up for you because we were cutting it so close to the end of the show.
Hopefully Jimmy Carter can vote absentee and he can just vote before he dies.
I don't think so.
Is it illegal if you're still alive, but you have somebody else do check it off for you?
Yeah.
You can't have someone else write for
There's
you.
probably a lot of that goes on.
Oh my God. Because they're like, Grandpa, give me your hand. And I'm just like, tracing, using their hand.
I've seen 2 videos, and I think they were like from Brazil or just some other South American countries. One of them was a woman who actually wheeled in a dead man in a wheelchair. And she's obviously like kind of like a hooker type, she's got like big, and she may have provided him with his dying moments, might have provided him with the happiest dying moments that any lonely man in that situation might have had. But
Anna Nicole Smith.
She wheeled him into the bank, and his head kept falling over because he had died like 6 hours before. And so she wheeled him into the bank, and she's like holding him up to have him like using his hand to like sign the check and stuff.
His thumbprint.
Yes. Yeah. And then I saw another one where it was actually at the ATM, and the guy was either dead or dying, and she's using his thumb to press on the pad so that she can get the money out of the ATM.
I mean, you can vote even if you're not competent. I think as long as you're alive, you can vote.
Yes.
Isn't that what the rule is? I don't think you have to have your wits about you.
No, there are rules. There are rules. So anyways, but thank you, Cecilia, for your financial support. We're going to go to our bonus content, guys. Go pee for liberty. When we get back, we've got Shmexytimes at RFK and Who Wants to Be a Libertarian Millionaire. It's going to be fun.
Yay!
Right back on the Wake Up America show on the For Liberty Network.
Wake Up America show's bonus content. Your financial support helps keep the show on the air and grows our For Liberty network to add new voices and new shows to the fight for liberty. Today's story considers how a judge stopped a California law targeting election misinformation. A federal judge recently blocked a California law targeting election misinformation, citing First Amendment violations. This law, known as Assembly Bill 2839, aimed at curbing deceptive election communications, was deemed overly broad by Judge John A. Mendez of the Eastern District of California. The law prohibited distributing advertisements or communications with materially deceptive content within a set time frame around elections. Critics argued that it suppresses free speech rights. Content creator Christopher Coles challenged the law, claiming it restricted his right to produce parody content. Coles, who has a popular YouTube channel, often creates political parodies. He argued that the law infringed on his ability to make satirical content about political figures. Judge Mendez sided with Coles, emphasizing the law's lack of narrow tailoring. Mendez noted that the law did not use the least restrictive means for achieving its goal. He suggested that counterspeech is a more appropriate alternative to banning content outright, regardless of its offensiveness. The law aimed to address issues like deepfakes and false speech misrepresenting political opponents. However, Mendez pointed out that it inadvertently penalized a broader spectrum of speech beyond intended targets. While the law drew comparisons to defamation restrictions, it lacked the precision of defamation laws. The statute extended to any false material likely to harm a candidate's reputation or electoral prospects, exceeding traditional legal standards. The law did attempt to exempt parody, but the requirement for disclosure was deemed burdensome. It mandated the disclosure to match the largest font size in visual media, which Mendez found excessive. One provision that survived scrutiny was the requirement for audio-only media to include disclosures at the beginning and every 2 minutes thereafter. This part was deemed constitutionally valid. Mendez acknowledged California's interest in protecting elections, but emphasized that such interests must be pursued narrowly. The ruling highlights the balance between regulating digital misinformation and preserving free speech traditions. The decision underscores the First Amendment's protection of critique, parody, and satire. While digital misinformation is a concern, the fear of it should not override fundamental free speech rights. Mendez's ruling serves as a reminder of the importance of narrowly tailored laws, especially when they intersect with free expression. The case reflects ongoing tensions between legislative measures and constitutional rights. California's legislative body faced a setback in its efforts to address misleading election content. The ruling may influence future legislative approaches to digital misinformation. The case highlights the challenges of regulating content in an increasingly digital and media-saturated landscape. Legislators must tread carefully to avoid infringing on protected speech while combating misinformation. As digital platforms evolve, so too must the strategies to address false information. This ruling suggests that any approach must align with constitutional freedoms. The decision illustrates the complexities of balancing state interests with individual rights in the context of modern media. Future legislative efforts will need to consider these constitutional constraints. This legal development is a pivotal moment in defining the boundaries of free speech and misinformation regulation. It emphasizes the enduring significance of the First Amendment in contemporary legal discourse.
Are you tired of the strange radioactive effects of leftist culture? Do you ever wonder what happened to good old-fashioned American values? Well, fear no more, because there's a new force fighting back against the cultural rot of today. Introducing Culturama, a right-of-center talk show that's taking back the future today. Hosted by none other than blonde bombshell herself, Daniela Pensack. She's not just talking, she's taking culture back, with sharp takes, brilliant guests, and a few surprises along the way. Tune in to the live video podcast twice a week, because the future doesn't have to be weird. It can be Culturama.
If there wasn't going to be somebody who was a fiery...
Thanks for sticking around. I'm Austin Peterson. Welcome to the Wake Up America show. We're number 2 on X this morning. On Friday, that's really hard, too.
Yay!
Nice to see everybody.
Good job.
Yeah. It's hard to beat the Bitcoiners. They're the ones usually who kind of like suck all the oxygen out of the room. But, you know.
Bitcoin is very popular.
Very popular. There's a lot of Bitcoiners. You'll see people like with gigantic accounts, like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people who are watching their shows and things.
Usually the Bitcoin shows are so boring.
Yeah.
Actually, in 1997, it's just like so dry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the number one story, the number one account this morning on X is the moon is what it is. Bitcoin, this will shock you.
Oh, a headline. Come on now. All those like conspiracy theory shows, they always get so many viewers.
It's kind of clickbaity, right? You know?
Oh yeah, this will shock you. Maybe we need to put that in our little headline.
I don't think it's gonna work.
This will shock you. RFK Jr. This will shock you.
That's not what people come to us for. I feel like, yeah, I do stuff like that every once in a while. It depends on the audience and what it is, but like, story this morning, big story. Trump leads in 2024 election polls. He is right now, according to a CNN poll at least, leading.
CNN?
The Electoral College.
If CNN says it, and they're a leftist organization.
It's their poll breaking Donald Trump is the clear favorite to win the 2024 election under CNN's latest national poll update with win odds of nearly 70%. And it's because of the Electoral College. Harris beats him in the popular vote, but who cares? Because
it's all about the electoral votes.
Trump has a 68.4% chance of winning the Electoral College. Harris has a 30.9%. That is quite exciting.
Oh boy. And again, that's very complex how all of that works.
Texas had a rude awakening this morning. Citizens of Texas, cell phones across Texas buzzed and lit up early Friday morning. Texas Department of Public Safety, shortly before 5 a.m., which is for us, whatever, but for a lot of people, that's early, issued a blue alert for a wanted suspect out of Memphis, Texas. That's a small town in the Texas Panhandle. You know where the Texas Panhandle is?
Oh, is that near Galveston?
No. Seth Altman was named as the wanted suspect, according to the alert, which is aimed at helping authorities find suspects who are accused in incidents involving a law enforcement officer. Altman was described as Bob. The blue alert warned Texas to call 911 if they see him and not to approach him, according to Texas Department of Public Safety. So a blue alert is, unlike an amber alert where they're looking for a kid, a blue alert is they punched a cop or, they shot a cop or something like that.
Oh my gosh. You turned off those.
You've
alerts on
attacked
my
one of
phone.
the king's men. How stole a king's deer.
It's like, what's really an emergency? Come on. Do you need to wake me up in the middle of the night to tell me that?
I'm going to say something here that's going to ensure I'll never get elected ever to anything, but turn that shit off.
Oh, I do. I
Turn
turned
that
off
shit
the
off.
alerts on my phone.
Listen, it's not that I don't care about the police officer getting hurt. It's not that I don't care about the child who, for the Amber Alert, is getting stolen and all this kind of stuff. I don't like that the government just chooses to intrude on my privacy and my phone and my personal life for every little goddamn thing that they think is important. Okay. Now you think it's important. It's important, but it's not important. Like, it's not important to people, that are like 150,000 miles away and they can't do anything about it. Right. So residents this morning of Texas are like, whoa, I'm nowhere near there. What am I going to do about something like this? Why are you waking me up?
The guy is on the run. They might see him coming by their house.
Maybe you could have an alert in like the most like 5 counties around where the incident happened or something like that. But no, I just don't like the government giving me alerts and all this stuff. Like, you have to opt out on your phone of the alerts. You can turn these things off.
Yeah, I think there was some setting that because I used to get those like horrible siren noises on my phone from the Amber Alert, and it would like wake me up and give me a near heart attack. And so I've somehow turned that off.
Yeah, good. Yeah, hate it.
How many heart attacks the government has seriously caused because of their alerts?
Well, see, the thing is like they'll make us appear like, oh, we're so heartless and all this stuff. But the thing is, the problem is like, this is the problem with people who can't leave other people alone. This is the problem with people who they never stop. It's C.S. Lewis's moral busybodies, right? Where his quote of like, they will torture us without end. The people who are the humanitarians with guillotines, you know what I mean? They're here to help. No, even right wingers do this stuff. It's like, we're going to help you by force. I saw that there were the hurricane victims, by the way. Somebody tried to do a helicopter mission to go in there and help, and the government shut them down.
A private helicopter thing.
The government shut them down. It was pissing me off.
I actually saw one of our friends, Tim Yao. He actually started a Facebook group about helping the people who are hurricane victims. So who knows? Maybe our libertarian efforts will be shut down too.
Well, it's just like, okay, so it's Amber Alert. Oh, all right, well, it's just for the kids. And it's a Blue Alert. It's a police officer. It's like, okay, well, like next one,
elderly one for the old people.
Yeah, next one. Oh, so senior status, Silver Alert, brother. Elder Alert. It's like,
if you lost your dog, you get an alert.
Get a put out a Brown Alert, right? For the turn. It's just, when is it going to end? And that's the thing, is like, oh, well, we got another one, because like, how are you going to argue against babies? How are you going to argue against police? How are you going to argue against it? And on and on and on until it becomes this Soviet style. No emergency alert, citizens. Pay attention. They do this kind of stuff in North Korea and China, where it's like
those the sirens in the town. Go off.
Yes, when I was in college, in my acting class, our warm up exercise in the morning was Chairman Mao's morning exercise.
Oh, I kid you not. How controversial is this?
Well, I mean, it wasn't controversial just because like it was like ironic and funny,
Yes.
But my teacher wasn't a communist. He's actually a libertarian. But in China, during Mao's period, you were required, mandatory, get up and exercise. And I can still speak the only Chinese that I know, other than ni hao ma, and Hu Flung Pu and Wei Tu Lo and Hung Lo and Cream with Some Young Guy. Other than that, the only Chinese that I know is Wei Shadi Zhu Mao, which means the great leader Mao teaches us. Because I remember it would start out, you can hear it. I could probably find it on
so people have
YouTube.
To exercise with Mao?
You had to get up, and everybody in the community, men, women, children, Mao's exercises.
And then do they start playing like an 80s aerobic dance mix?
You're gonna actually, I've got it. Here it is. I've got it. The 4 minutes, Chairman Mao's 4-minute exercise plan. Oh, AP, this is going to take you back. You ready?
And then are there like hot Chinese women in leotards?
You wish. They're all like, what do you call them? Linglings? They're like old. I still remember the moves. And they had to do it. It was mandatory. We get up and we stand like this. Attention. Here we go.
The great leader, Chairman Mao, teaches us, promote physical fitness exercises
and improve people's physical condition. We must always be ready to protect our country. Now we will start the exercise program. 32 steps in place, beginning on the left foot.
Here we go, everybody.
Oh my God.
Right, Chairman Mao. Here we go.
1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2.
And if you're out of step, they'll kill you.
AK-47 in the back of the head. Now, come on, everybody, get up. Chairman, great leader Mao teaches us. Amber alert, Amber alert. You must exercise.
上肢运动，预备。
Exercise 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
This is really good. I like this. Maybe we should do this as an exercise every day.
We already do. We do karate, baby, and that's Japanese.
I know the Falun Gong people, they're not allowed to do all of
They're not allowed to do their thing in China. Yeah, they persecute them there. So,
yes.
like, right, the great leader Mao teaches us. But that's what this shit is. That's what
this is crazy. This is
to help you. It's
a great way to fight obesity.
Yeah.
I think here in America, we need to bring this in.
There you go. You know what we need to do? We need to force people on their phones in the mornings to get an alert, and then Kamala Harris will come on and she'll be like, "Are you ready?"
And get on a Zoom meeting, a mandatory Zoom meeting on your phone.
Yeah, the great leader Kamala teaches us. You know, right? And everybody has to do the exercises in the morning.
That sounds great.
You know what this is? Wow. This is the road to serfdom.
It is.
Yeah, this is literally the road to serfdom. So this is the inspiration for Hayek's book, The Road to Serfdom, where the state plans everything for you. Mm-hmm. The state will take care of everything for you, and you will obey, and you will follow. You will listen to what the state has to say, and you will come to attention. It's very 1984 kind of stuff.
Oh, it is.
And I know people like who are for it will be like, "It's so hyperbolic. We're just trying to save the children."
It's so weird because, yes, sure, it's a good thing. I mean, ending obesity would be wonderful. You know, helping people with medical problems. You know, help make their heart healthy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But it's like being forced to do it. Where do you draw the line?
Yeah, stay out of my life. Stay out of my business. Stay out of my cell phone, government. Take your Amber alerts and your blue alerts and your emergency alerts and your weather alerts, your mandatory alerts that I don't sign up for.
Do you think we should
shove them up your ass?
Do you think we should have the tornado warning alert sirens?
No.
In our area?
That is fine. That is fine. That it's a local thing, right? Yeah. But in the state, what they're doing is they're doing it to everybody across the state, and it's mandatory. You can't opt out, right? It's like, you know, if a tornado's coming and it's going to kill me, that's a completely different thing. That affects everybody in the community. You're talking about a specialized situation, and 80% of these Amber alerts are like domestic disputes where the child isn't even really in any actual danger, but they still like do an Amber alert or whatever. Yeah. It's like mom is taken off with a kid or something like that. You know, it's like
little Susie has pigtails and she's wearing a yellow shirt.
Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing: the people who are going to get elected are going to be the people who advocate for shit like that. And because, because we're, you know, in our democratic aspect of our society, people are like, she's so nice. She just wants to protect the baby.
But you want to feel like you're helping because these are people that probably don't help others in their normal life. So they're like, I want to feel like I'm helping somebody.
Yes, I'm helping someone.
Well, go do volunteer work then in your community.
Yeah, go do so. Why don't you go do it? Like, go be a leader of the Boys and Girls Club.
The government is not the only thing that can help people.
Just get out of my phone. Get out of my phone, government. Get out of my privacy. Get out of my private business. Right? Get your Amber alerts, your silver alerts, and your blue alerts, and shove them up your ass. How's that sound? Okay.
There you go. Yeah. Good conversation. I like that.
Oh, this is a great conversation. Thank you to Andy Opperman. He donated $5 to help us. Like, you guys, I know today is you know, you guys are really being generous, and we're grateful for it. We really appreciate it. And to be honest, we really need it. So, you know, if you guys have been feeling about doing some shopping at forlibertyshop.com.
Can you bless me with something?
Oh, God.
Money-wise. Please.
Can you suck it?
Can you suck it?
What?
So if you haven't visited forlibertyshop.com, we do have the Culturama collection, the mugs, but we've also got the Liberty Tonight mugs.
We do. Yeah, those mugs are really fun also.
Yeah, we sold a couple of, we sold 3 Culturama mugs so far. So Danielle's
crazy.
Danielle's not even working hard for the money yet, and she's already getting it. So that's good for her.
She's very lucky.
Yeah, but Brian Piotr, he got a monthly sub over on Locals, so he's already getting the monthly sub. So he's got the guaranteed revenue coming in, which is great.
Brian Piotr, like otter.
Brian Piotr, like an otter, you know? Why are we saying that?
Because that's part of their skit, isn't it?
Yeah, they're gonna release it. But if you want to see it, you got to see it on the locals page.
Yes.
But they did an interview with Eminem celebrity Brian P. Otter, like an otter, and it's so funny. So there are going to be so many fun fake celebrity interviews on the Liberty Tonight show. So we're going to get a sneak preview of the Eminem interview on the locals page. So if you want to see it, you got to go to forlibertynetwork.com. Okay, guys? Yeah. And it might be behind the paywall. So if you want to see it, you got to become a monthly sustaining member over at forlibertynetwork.com. So if you want those sneak previews, become a paid monthly subscriber. I know you've been thinking about doing it anyway. Remember, when you're a paid monthly subscriber, if you want the Culturama mug too, you get 20% off, right? I mean,
that's right.
We saw, you know what Audrey bought, our stripper friend?
Oh, I know. In the middle of the night, I see on my phone, I'm like, a bikini from Audrey.
So like, so like that smoking hot stripper chick from Louisiana, she bought the Donald Trump bikini, and I was like, oh boy.
I think she's going to wear it on the show next time she comes on. I think she will.
Reasons to watch the Wake Up America show.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I've got a great column coming out, too, in Human Events, probably next week, about like the taming of the shrew.
Oh, yes.
Which is like the
hot women, the rise of hot women.
Why conservative men are so enamored and by, hot women on the right. I talk a little bit about like the simping that goes on and and I compare it to the story, the Shakespeare play, Taming of the Shrew, which is a fantastic play, which I'll try and show you this weekend.
You were explaining it to me. I've never heard of this.
Elizabeth Taylor from The Taming of the Shrew. So she plays the shrew. I'll probably find a YouTube of the trailer for it. But essentially, the Petruchio comes to town. He's got to marry a wealthy wife, and he meets Catherine, who is this wealthy woman, but she's kind of a bitch. So Taming of the Shrew. Let's see if there's a trailer. But they have an Elizabeth Taylor version. Oh, here it is. Oh, here we go. Awesome.
His mission was simple.
To find a fortune and to woo a wife.
Her beauty and wealth were undeniable.
Hearing of her gentle modesty, her affability, and mild behavior.
All things living, a man's the worst.
He had to make her his own.
Have you not a daughter called Katerina, fair and virtuous? I have a daughter, sir.
Richard Burton. And Elizabeth Taylor.
I'm born to tame you, Kate.
I'm born to tame you, Kate.
Give their real-life romance.
It's incredible to believe how much she loves me.
A Shakespearean twist.
Any man is such a fool as to be married to hell?
My tongue will tell the anger of my heart.
I will marry you.
I'd rather die!
The Taming of the Shrew. This month on Encore.
Stephanie, I aim to tame you.
Every woman needs to be tamed. I'm just going to say that. Every woman may say she does not want to be tamed, but she needs to be tamed.
Yes. Wild Hearts. The original I Can Fix Her, says Camellia. Yes.
That's right.
And he does.
Yes. Yes. If you're a true alpha man, you can fix any woman.
That's
I really believe it.
No, not every woman. Some women, some hoes you can't make into housewives. You know what I'm saying?
Really? I don't know. I believe in alphas. I've seen you do some real magic tricks.
The story's perhaps for another time. Don't you watch the Wake Up America show for that kind of fun? Click the like button if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel by clicking follow underneath the Rumble chat. If today's your first time here on the Wake Up America show, things get really weird and wacky on Fridays. I mean, they can be a little wild Mondays through Thursdays as well, so you do want to join us then. But Freedom Family Fridays, I bring my smoking hot redheaded libertarian wife, Stephanie, and there's another little smoking hot redheaded baby.
I know one day when she's actually able to repeat things we say, we're going to have to make it PG in here.
Yeah, well, we'll try. But my daughter's just going to have to understand, who I am and the man I am. She's going to watch the show.
She'll be going to preschool talking about RFK Jr.'s concubines.
Listen, I don't care. If my daughter has a says dirty words or something like that, it is a willing trade-off for if she can actually quote Shakespeare. So
that's right.
If she can quote Shakespeare,
yes,
and cuss with the best of them, then that's the price I'm willing to pay. Look, it's Liz says, I do the taming with her little martini glass.
Oh boy.
Hey, listen, if you're into that, that's your kink.
Yeah.
Speaking of kinky, we haven't talked about it. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., more of his concubines.
I don't know why these women like him. It is just disgusting to me. Imagine him having phone sex.
Take your clothes off with me.
That's so gross. His voice is terrible, and he's not good looking.
Oh my God, it feels so good. You kiss me like darling.
He needs to like push a button and have something else speak for him.
Yeah. God, this show is so offensive. 3 more women claim they had affairs in the past year with RFK Jr.
It's women pretty.
I mean, it doesn't, at some point it doesn't matter.
Does he actually get like young 19-year-old Leonardo DiCaprio type girlfriends?
Sure. I mean, when you're a political figure, well, here's the thing: the woman that broke the scandal, Olivia Nuzzi, she's pretty. I'll get you a picture. I'll pull a picture of her up in just a moment. But this isn't about Olivia anymore, because now there's allegations that Olivia may have been blackmailed by her fiance, but because he like threatened to like tell about the affairs, the scandals.
She was cheating on her fiance.
Yeah. So
I don't blame him for being upset.
Yeah. Rare Camellia says, whisper raspy nothings in my ear.
Oh,
and
yes.
Dad Bod Baboon. Question: would you rather?
Oh.
Phone sex with RFK Jr. or Stephen Hawking? Yes, baby.
Stephen Hawking, he talks with a box.
He was into midgets. Did you know that?
He was a what?
Allegedly. Stephen Hawking was into midgets.
He liked midgets.
Did you know this?
No.
So the allegations are that Stephen Hawking went to Jeffrey Epstein's island and that they had special little people placed to set aside for Stephen Hawking who get very excited about them.
He was in a wheelchair, so he was a little lower down.
He was kind of small, actually. Yeah. So maybe he felt
smaller.
He felt like they were his size. Yeah.
Right. I mean, there's someone for everyone in this world. Okay, would I rather have phone sex? Well, I would rather have phone sex with Stephen Hawking, because then we could talk about the universe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that would be really compelling.
Yes, draw me like one of your French constellations.
Yeah. I'd be asking him all sorts of questions about the world and science.
While he's like, his limp little member is...
Oh, no, I wouldn't do anything about the sex. I just want to talk to him about science.
Oh, this is not about that. This is about would you rather with Stephen Hawking. Would you rather be like, oh, baby, yes, please tell me, what are you wearing right now? Or RFK Jr.'s. So anyways, it's just a joke. You don't have to choose.
Yeah.
Anyways, 3 more.
I feel like I'm doing more of a service with Stephen Hawking. You know how there's those like therapy people that come to disabled people's houses and, help give them satisfaction when they can't do that.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like a good person doing a community service.
They do that in there are Americans who actually take their disabled children to Europe for that specifically, because they're disabled, but they're not,
they still have functioning parts.
And otherwise, if they did not, then they would never experience, like, it's hard for a fully formed straight man who is not disabled to find a woman.
Right.
Like, it's not easy for a man.
Yeah.
If you add in that, if you have any flaws or if you're a short man, it's a problem.
Yeah.
If you're in a wheelchair, forget it. You know what I mean? It's damn near impossible. So there have been some parents who take their kids over to Europe and they get them the relief that they so desire before they die and never know. Like, would you rather pay someone or never experience it in the one life that you have on this planet, and never know the touch of another human being, a caress and a loving way?
Service.
I don't know about
like
that.
Physical therapy.
I don't know about that. No, because then the left will say that mandatory, and then they'll tax us to pay for it. And I'm really just not in the mood for that.
Right. And then they would do that with the children. They'd be like, the children need physical therapy too. And they'd bring drag queens to the child's house.
Yeah, bit of a spicy morning this morning. 3 more women have emerged with claims of having been involved romantically over the past year with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Here's the subheading. There are a number of women in the health freedom movement who thought of themselves as Bobby's only one.
Oh, God.
And I'm quite sure they were angry and shocked to find out they weren't. A source told Mediaite.
I would be shocked too, because seeing how he is, I don't think he'd have a lot of women after him.
No, okay, but you're not his type. But Stephanie, you have to acknowledge you're a little different in your types. But RFK Jr. is buff. He's a Kennedy. You don't get off on like the political cults. I know that you're not into that. It's completely different. You
have to at least be good looking.
Well,
sure, I like powerful men. Like I liked you. You ran for president, right?
You said you like powerful men. So
yeah, I like powerful men, but you also have to be a good looking powerful man to get my attention.
Okay, so you're not into RFK Jr.
No.
Most girls tend to be into that kind of thing. Okay, so just accept it.
Okay.
So here's the thing: there are a number of women in the health free. This is a quote from a source to Mediaite. There are a number of women in the health freedom movement who thought of themselves as Bobby's only one, and I'm quite sure they are angry and shocked to find out that they weren't. How stupid are you? Like, he's married. And he's a Kennedy.
Clearly they're not the only one if he's married.
So I mean, here's the thing.
Here's
the thing. It's not to say that older women can't be stupid, but they're probably young women, right? So you're there. That answers your question. At least one out of these three women are younger.
Probably makes them feel like the only one. I don't know what he says to these people, but he probably makes them feel very special.
Yeah. Look, it's Liz says that RFK is hot. So there you go.
She'd be with him.
So three more women have emerged with claims of having been. He's got a lot of money too. It's from a powerful family. Women love that stuff. Of having been involved romantically with RFK Jr. Kennedy, who is married to actress Cheryl Hines, is currently embroiled in a scandal over a reported affair he carried on with New York Magazine reporter Olivia Nuzzi or whatever. She was herself engaged to a political journalist, Ryan Lizza, until the news broke of her sordid relationship. According to Mediaite, the latest trio know Kennedy through the notorious advocacy group he founded, Children's Health Defense.
Oh, God.
There are a number of women in the health freedom movement who thought of themselves as Bobby's only one. The Children's Health Defense, these are people who think that like 5G causes cancer and infertility and stuff. So
apparently it's also a dating app.
Yeah. So apparently for RFK Jr., allegedly, there are a number of women in the health freedom movement who thought that Bobby was their only one, that they were Bobby's only one. After talking to some of these women, I think what he does is just love bombs them. He makes them feel important, even tells them he loves them, and so they all feel special and wanted. Classic. It's a classic.
Us women, we're very gullible. I mean, I've been there before when I was younger and felt like I was special. And
not to go out
when a guy's kind of a jerk, but they still make you feel like you're the only one.
This is a really personal question, and this can go very wrong. But it's the reason the Wake Up America show is good is because we always are taking risks.
Yeah,
in certain dangerous conversations. Austin is treading into dangerous territory here by asking this question. Do you believe that there is one love that you really only can love one person in your lifetime? Don't answer just yet, right away. That you can only love one person in your lifetime, and that is your true love, and that is it, and it is that one single person. Or do you believe it's possible to love more than one person in that romantic, special, intimate way? Before you answer, we've had these conversations about loving people, and one of the differences between us that we kind of identified is how much more I have a wider circle of people that I say I love you to than you do.
Yeah.
And even like I had to help condition your mother to say I love you to us.
Yes.
Because I tell your mother I love you.
Yeah.
Right. So love, that's not a romantic love, but I have a wider circle. I'm more what's the word you might say? Sentimental.
Mm-hmm.
And more sort of like, because I've always believed the more you give, the more you get to a certain extent. But the question of true love, one partner for life, you'll only love them. What is it that you believe, Stephanie?
I don't think there's only one person for you on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
I think there could be a lot of people for you on this planet. You just don't find them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know who's out there in Europe or other countries.
Right. So, when you're a child, you have this idea of romantic love, and it's sold to you through like Hollywood and through movie, TV and stuff of, one love, it's all it is. One love, one heart. Right. And that's it.
And if there was somebody else in, let's say, England who looked just like you, who had the same interests as you,
mm-hmm.
Sure. In another world, if I wasn't with you, sure, I could probably find myself falling in love with that person.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a combination of qualities that make up a person and that attract you to them.
Yes. So did I have relationships that were long-term committed monogamous relationships before I met you and before we were married? And did I say I love you to those women? And did I mean it? I think the answer is yes.
And me too, yeah.
And that is not, I wasn't lying to them, right? But like our relationship is built not just out of love, but also out of a compatibility that is separate from our romantic feelings from one another. And it's, lifestyle and personality and things, we mesh and blend together well, better than anyone I've ever dated ever.
Yeah.
And you are more special than them.
Yes.
But for example, this is kind of a personal thing, but after my mother died, my dad never remarried.
Right.
And he always said in part it was because he didn't want to have wicked stepmothers. You know what I mean? With us kids, because he loved us and he didn't want to bring someone in who would, try and push us out of the nest to a certain extent because we're his children and his legitimate children.
Of course.
But he loved after my mother. He did. And that's hard to accept as a child, right? Because you always think your parents only one another, and in my world, there's only my mother.
Oh, I understand.
Other women will never take her place. And that is a complicated thing to consider in terms of how you view love. But if I, for myself, could love more than one, then how could I deny that to my parent for understanding that they feel the same way? But
sure, the
complications, of course, of my father is that my mother's grave and his name are on the same grave. So if he remarried, who would you be buried next to?
It'd still be his first wife.
Right. But if you're the new wife.
I know. That would be so hard to be the spouse of somebody who's a widow.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
You would always probably be compared to the person who died, just naturally, because it's not like they stopped loving that person. Like your dad still loved your mom up until she died.
Still does.
And he would still love her if she were alive today.
Yes. And he saw her through her cancer and her suffering and saw us through, and he loves us very much.
And that's why people still feel like they're cheating even after someone dies, because they're like, I still love this person. They didn't do anything wrong. Why should I move on?
Yeah. No, so, these are very personal questions,
yes.
personal discussions, topics.
Well, Thomas Jefferson also never got remarried. He made a promise to his wife that he never would, although he still had sexual relations, obviously, with Sally.
We've talked about this. Isn't this, when we went to Monticello, we discussed this. You talked to me about how you thought that was selfish of her.
To say never marry again. Yeah, because I wouldn't expect you to be single for the rest of your life, especially as a man. I know that, you have different needs than women do. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I would never want to deprive you of getting your needs met if I couldn't fill them if I'm dead.
But she demanded it. Martha Jefferson demanded that Thomas Jefferson not remarry again. We just, from what I'm seeing right now, we just crossed over. We're number one on X right now.
Oh, I guess they like this RFK Jr. topic, huh?
Shmexytimes.
The concubine topic.
The Wake Up America show is a 5-day-a-week political news talk show, but on Fridays, we call it Freedom Family Fridays. And that's when we sneak in some fun personal stuff. You get to learn a little bit more about us, about me and my smoking hot wife who's joining us here. And soon little baby Hazel's going to come up on the set.
She's still sleeping, thankfully.
And if you're enjoying this content and you like having these conversations and you like to get a little bit closer to our community, then we'd be very grateful if you would not only click the like button over on Rumble, but if you're watching us on X, to the 1,700 people watching us on X this morning, would you do us a favor and just lean over to wherever your computer is or the mobile phone or what have you, and just click the heart button underneath the stream right now. And the repost button is just to the left of us. Share us in the stream with other friends and let them come and join us and enjoy the Wake Up America show. This is a labor of love. I have taken a great risk. My wife and I, we both have risked our fortunes and our sacred honor to produce the Wake Up America show. And now the For Liberty Network with 2 brand new shows. We're bootstrapping a Liberty Network. We don't have millions of dollars. We don't have, overseas shadowy funders. The only way that we've managed to get 2 years into this 5-day-a-week podcast is through Rumble Rant donations, people sharing the show, commenting, chatting, going to forlibertyshop.com, buying mugs and shirts and hats and coffee and all that. So do us a favor today. It's totally free. Just repost us over there on X and share us with your friends, and sketch us in your mornings. 5 days a week would be great. We'd love you to be a super fan like a lot of people are. But even if you can only tune in a few days a week, just think of us in the morning when you're looking for something to listen to that's fun, that's friendly, that's informative, that's welcoming, that's pro-America, pro-liberty, pro-Constitution.
The good thing is you can pop in whenever you want. Yeah. Some of these podcasts, they have such long discussions and you have to catch the whole thing in order to understand what they're talking about. Whereas us, our topics, they go pretty fast because we always have different topics, lots of variety.
Yeah, lots of variety. We keep the conversation moving, and we keep it brisk, and we keep it fun, and we keep it funny, and we also keep it fun and relatable. Yeah. And here's the thing, if we're number one on X, we're just two people and my employee, our part-time employee. And I'll tell our secret right now. I mean, we spend almost nothing, but we do just a tiny little bit of money each day in advertising on X for the stream. But because we don't have the resources to invest thousands of that. Can you imagine if we had like $1,000 to invest in like the advertising of the show? Like, we could be huge, but we just don't have the budget for it just now.
It takes money to make money.
It does take money, and we are spending. We are advertising a little bit, and I think that is bumping us up over the top. Number one on X right now. Thanks, Angelo.
Oh, how cool.
Our staffer really does work hard and get up early and bust his butt for us. And we just really can't say thank you enough, because he goes out of his way to make sure that if you got a product delivered from forlibertyshop.com the last few months, if you bought a box of coffee, or if you got a shirt or whatever it is, or if you had a problem with an order, whatever, Angelo took care of it. So let's say thank you, Angelo.
And we have new coffee pods. We finally added those onto forlibertyshop.com.
Oh, and we sold our first box yesterday.
We did.
Yeah, I'll tell them a little bit behind the scenes thing. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to produce 2 more different boxes of pods, and we're going to give it the old college try to sell them. But if we don't sell enough by the end of the month, we're going to have to take them off the shop, just because we have to pay for the privilege of having those.
Right.
So if we don't make enough money from them, we'll just have to take them off. It'll just be a failed experiment in capitalism. Yeah.
So I guess limited edition, you could say.
Maybe limited edition. So if you really like coffee pods and you like Founding Flavors coffee and you want it in pods, you got to support it with your money. So head over to forlibertyshop.com. We have to pay $50 a month for the privilege of selling the pods, which means that, if we make $4 or $5 profit on each one, then it's like 4 or 5. Right? You got to sell a fair amount of the pods in order to really make it worth it. So hopefully we will. If you want some, go buy some. Go to forlibertyshop.com.
We have a Keurig, so we definitely are a pod family.
Yeah, on weekends we use the pods. But weekdays, I'm just pouring that sweet, sweet Founding Flavors straight down my gullet. So head to forlibertyshop.com and buy yourself some Founding Flavors coffee pods. We're going to get some more. We won't be able to get the Jeffersonian Java, Andy. I know that's the one that you want, but we do have, we actually have a new flavor that we're going to add.
Benjamin's Electric Elixir.
We have Electric Elixir, and then the other 2 flavors. One of them is a new one, and
we're going to make that some other person that is
special person that will be the founding flavor for that one. But then there's another one that we already have that will be able to make the pods, and I can't remember which
Madison.
one it is. Oh, Madisonian Morning, which I think Madisonian Morning is better than Jeffersonian Java, Andy. It's a light roast. I actually like the Madisonian Morning better than the Jeffersonian Java. So that'll be coming soon. And there it is. Look, it's Liz says it's not about a big budget. Use your money wisely. You are. That's what we're doing.
That's really true. Yeah, you have to be very efficient with your money.
Yep. So hopefully we'll sell some coffee pods so that we can pay Angelo and he can continue to support the For Liberty shop, and hopefully the new shows will be successful, and financially we'll be able to reinvest so that we can do things like bootstrap the documentaries and bootstrap the movies, and you guys are going to get some quality entertainment for the next 10. Think about 10 years from now, where you'll be able to watch the movies that you helped to produce by buying coffee, right? You were going to buy coffee anyway. Now you can buy coffee and support the cause of limited government, and, not only make awesome, content, but you're supporting a liberty family. You know what I mean? Like,
truly.
Yeah, you're helping us to grow and build our freedom family. And we can't say thank you enough. Fridays are the days that we really just want to say give thanks to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. And if you want any Halloween items, we have a sale going on, 10% off the Halloween collection if you use code PUNKIN, P-U-N as in Nancy, K-I-N.
There you go. Use code PUNKIN. Yeah, but we've got the Liberty Tonight mugs up there. We've already sold a few Culturama mugs. You can find their collections by typing in their show names in the search. Be careful when you see there on the left, it'll be like, it'll say Oh, you can't find it. Well, it's because you selected Canvas. You have to select all in the you have to select all in the thing you do in order to like. It's like so annoying on the screen. You can't see it, but yeah, just type in the search. Make sure that the search is set for all, so you're not just searching like coffee and where's the Culturama mug? Oh, well, it's not in the coffee section you're searching. I'll try and fix that. Angelo, if you can hear me, please fix it. Liberty Tonight coming this fall. Yeah.
We need to make it a Liberty Tonight dance.
I love it. I love it. It's such a beautiful thing. We're going to have 2 new shows on the For Liberty Network. I can't wait to share them with you. Also, I can give them a quick little sneak preview as well of the what I produced last night, which is fun.
Oh.
We won't give everything away, but I can give little snippets and tastes. And remember,
what did you make last night?
We are going to drop the the Eminem interview exclusively at forlibertynetwork.com, exclusively for monthly members.
Right.
So if you want to see the actual video like interview from the preview, you guys got to go to forlibertynetwork.com and become a monthly subscriber to see that sneak preview. Otherwise, you got to wait till the 17th like everybody else. Ronald Barr just bought some Franklin's Electric Elixir pods. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Here's the little intro preview I made last night for the boys. Oh, no, it's not letting me.
I don't think I've seen it. I don't think you showed me. Did you?
No, it's hold on just one second. Let me go to a quick little standby screen.
Leader of the
Welcome to Liberty Tonight, the only pro-liberty late-night variety show. Hosted by Brian Piotr and starring King Libertarian. Special guests, hilarious commentary, skits, gags, and more fun are just ahead. And here's Brian.
Such a good announcing voice. It's just like what's his name? The black guy who is basically God in every single movie.
Oh, Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
You're the Morgan Freeman.
Oh, shut up, Stephanie. Stop. Do not come. Do not. No.
Do not come.
Okay. Yeah.
Aww.
Yes.
Oh, you truly are a voice actor. You are the voice of Jonathan Gullible.
It's true.
In the Jonathan Gullible cartoon series.
It's true. I did my first cartoon.
Yeah, and you're the main
voiceover.
character.
It's true, yes.
Thomas Massey is in it too. Or no, not Thomas Massey.
Tom Woods.
Tom Woods is in it too.
Michael Malice is in it.
Yeah, but you are the lead.
It's just, what can I say?
Yes. So Jonathan Gullible, look it up, you guys. It is it's for kids.
Yeah, it's for kids. Yeah,
it's a good family show.
Yeah, it's by the series, the comic graphic novel series. It was called, Jonathan Gullible, and it's a kids book series. Really good stuff. We are still number 1 on X. Yeah.
Yay!
You guys ready to play Who Wants to Be a Libertarian Millionaire?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Before I do, hold on. Did you hear that story about Abraham Lincoln, that they're doing this documentary and he's gay?
Oh, yes, I did.
Yes. So
I also heard Pete Buttigieg, the fake news about him having HIV.
Yes.
There's just all kinds of gay hate going on. What's going on with this?
Well, I mean, it's to some extent it's undeserved, and to some extent it's kind of deserved. But I mean, here's Abraham Lincoln reacting to the documentary that showed that he's gay. Take a listen.
So I'm just going to watch the trailer.
He is considered a sacred figure by both Republicans and Democrats.
He led the nation through its greatest crisis.
I did.
He's on our currency. We build monuments to him.
Guilty.
He's the greatest president the United States has ever had.
Today, the big question that people are asking is, was Abraham Lincoln gay?
In the 19th century, for many
asking
men,
that.
their closest relationships were other men, and same
I
for
have
women.
a jovial
Men
demeanor.
would live with another man when they're single, and often did, and shared beds.
Lincoln
was a
probably
friend.
slept in the same bed with men more than he did with women.
No, he
When you
didn't.
put together
I
all of the
honest to God,
evidence,
never did
it's
that.
really startling.
It's actually
If you
not
want a
that
smoking
startling.
gun, here it is.
But
I'm
then
game
you
for
see all
freeing
these
slaves.
shifts to the end of the 19th century.
Who the f- is this guy?
If you can accept a queer Lincoln, you can
I
accept queer
didn't,
people
though.
overall.
Lover of men? No, there's some technical glitch. They just dropped another.
This is a real documentary
Yeah.
with real research.
No.
He really shared a bed with a man.
Yes to your first question. No to your second question. Yeah, that's Ryan Long, the comedian. Very funny stuff. He's like, what the hell? So, yeah, funny stuff.
I mean,
everybody shared a bed. Everybody had to share a bed in the 1800s.
I don't know. He was pretty tall. I don't know if anyone could really fit in there with him.
Our new friend, Mr. Newsy, first time on the show chatting, I've seen him. He says that Abraham was a tyrant dictator, definitely gay.
Yes. Well, like Hitler, there's some rumors that he might have been gay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like at this point, it's like, who cares? For the love of
They could have anger building up in them because they can't show their true colors.
Yeah, and this is kind of the same thing that like the black Israelites do, where it's like we was Kangs. You ever heard of we was Kangs? Do you know what we was Kangs is? Okay, it's like a racist meme that's making fun of black people who are like, our civilization was so advanced because we were Egyptians and we were Africans who, that built the pyramids and civilization. So when they were in huts, when white people were in huts, we was Kangs. We was Kangs. Except they weren't actually the pharaonic, the old ancient Egyptians that you like think of and know were not black Africans as you understand them, like as we understand them
Egypt
today.
is Africa.
Even though Egypt is Africa, North Africa, Egypt, Central Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa, South Africa, not the same Africa, right? And
so the people were probably lighter skinned, more Middle Eastern looking?
Yes. And Cleopatra was not black.
Oh.
Cleopatra was Greek. And they did the whole documentary about Cleopatra being black.
Oh.
Did you know this? Netflix did a documentary.
No.
And the whole supposition for Cleopatra being black in this Netflix documentary, okay? People watch this and then they believe it.
It must be true.
She said they got a professor to go on the documentary and say, and my grandmother sat me down and she said, you know what, Quanisha, you just need to know that Cleopatra was black. Don't listen to what anybody says. Cleopatra was black.
Oh, it was probably really like Cleopatricia.
It was Cleoquisha.
Yeah,
it was
Cleoquisha.
Cleo Kwan.
Yeah, she had to change her name in order
it was
to
Jamira Quanapatra
to become famous.
Yeah, that's what it was.
There you go. I mean, I believe anything.
Yeah.
How do we know that if she was black or not? Can we tell based on her skeleton?
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah. Well, if you were Greek, like Cleopatra,
there's no black Greek people.
There's a lot less racial mixing going on.
That makes me want that flaming cheese.
Cleopatra was a Ptolemy. That's correct. The Ptolemy dynasty. The Ptolemaic Egypt is a fascinating period of history, and that it's one of the least understood.
Well, we all came from Africa. As are humans, right? In evolution, we all came from Africa.
We all came from the Fertile Crescent. We all came from Mesopotamia and the Tigris and the Euphrates. And
we've watched a lot of shows about this.
Yes. The Tigris and the Euphrates, the Fertile Crescent, Sumeria, right? The Sumerian kings and all of that. The Assyrians and Assyrians.
So we all did come from black people.
To an extent, not in the sense that you think of black people as today. And remember, the problem is that our view of black people is so skewed because American black people are so different from black people.
Right, they are not technically African American. African Americans are from Africa. Right. Most of the black people today are American.
Yes, we can say with
black Americans.
We can say with 100% certainty that the Egyptians were not African Americans.
Right. Yeah. I picture them to just be like brown colored, wearing their little loincloths.
Yes. So, are we ready to play Who Wants to Be a Libertarian Millionaire?
Am I a contestant?
You're going to be a contestant on the show of Who Wants to Be a Libertarian Millionaire?
Can we phone a friend?
No.
Oh. Okay. Can I ask the audience?
Yes, you can.
Oh. I used to love watching Regis Philbin on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Yes.
I was a big fan of that show.
Yes. So we're going to play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire on the show for the last 10 minutes because, we got to get baby in here in like 8 minutes and stuff like that. So we should
probably play first because she's still sleeping. So I don't want her to like start crying while I'm answering questions.
Okay. Yes. So let me get the quiz up. Hold on just 1 sec because it disappeared.
Okay.
Who...
I don't know if I really have confidence in myself for this.
Well, everybody at home who's listening gets to play too. So let's see here. Damn, man, it was like, shoot.
It went away?
Yeah, I lost the link to it, but I know where to find it. Hold on.
Oh, your dad is messaging us.
What is he saying?
Oh, he was messaging about your mom. Let's see.
What did he say?
48 years ago today. Let's see what happened 48 years ago today, the horses died. Oh my goodness.
The barn burned down?
Yeah, the Stonegate Farm barn burned down with all of your mom's horses in it.
That was a big story from Peterson family history. It was before I was born. Yeah. It
says so your dad said, never forget mommy standing at the end of the house pregnant and crying her eyes out as I was out there trying to get the horses out of the stalls.
Very sad.
So that was pregnant with Justin, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I didn't find Who Wants to Be a Libertarian Millionaire, but I did find a millionaire quiz for us to play that is not libertarian, but just Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Let's just play.
Yeah.
For $100, Bradley Cooper spent 6 years learning how to conduct an orchestra for his role in what acclaimed 2023 film? A, Barbie. B, Maestro. C, Oppenheimer. D, Leave the World Behind.
Well, he definitely was not in Oppenheimer.
Correct.
He was not in Barbie.
Okay.
I don't know about Maestro.
So
I would want to see that.
Or it's Leave the World Behind.
Leave the World Behind. D.
No, I'm sorry,
Maestro?
actually.
Was it Maestro?
It was Maestro.
Oh,
yes,
I need to see that movie. That sounds good.
I think that's the one the Leonard Bernstein, the guy who composed West Side Story.
Ooh, we should watch that.
Okay. For $100, which of these activities did Ernest Hemingway describe as the only art in which the artist is in danger of death? A, bird watching. B, juggling dynamite. C, bullfighting. D, fly fishing.
Oh my God. I want to say it's probably something that wouldn't necessarily be associated with death. Bird watching?
No, sorry. It's bullfighting.
Okay. I was just going with the complete opposite.
For $100, just weeks after moving to Los Angeles in 1973, Henry Winkler landed the role of Arthur Fonzarelli on what classic TV show?
Oh.
The Waltons?
No.
Green Acres?
No.
The Bionic Woman?
No.
Happy Days.
Happy Days.
Happy Days.
Well, Sunday, Monday.
Happy Days.
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Happy Days. Thursday, Friday. Happy Days. Saturday, the weekend comes. Grooving all week with you. These days are These days are so live with you through the night. Happy days. Yes, thank you. You're welcome.
Wow, I did not know the words.
Don't need to, just fake it.
Yes.
For $100, what kind of substance is zinc? A, liquid. B, wood. C, metal. D, wax.
Metal.
Correct.
Thank you. I'm all aware of the heavy metals in our bodies.
For $100, SOS stands for A, suits. Save our what? Suits. B, sanity. C, supper. D, souls.
SOS, like send an SOS.
So when you're near me, darling,
our souls.
can't you hear me? SOS.
Save our souls.
That's correct. Yes. When you're gone. Though I try, how can I carry on?
I am so surprised it means souls. That's weird.
So when you're near me, darling, can't you hear me? SOS. When you're gone, how can I even try to go on? For $100, for what institutions are both Oxford and Cambridge particularly noted? Oxford and Cambridge. A, universities. B, beaches. C, Michelin star restaurants. D, train stations.
Universities.
That's correct, Stephanie. Stephanie?
I used to want to go to Harvard when I was younger.
No, didn't we all?
Yes.
Stephanie Peterson, you're my wife. You're beautiful. You got to go get the bonus baby.
Oh
it's time.
She's still sleeping.
That's okay. It's just the end of the show. She got to say goodbye. And we got to change her and do all that stuff before. Oh, she's waking up. Good, good. Hey, guys, today's been an awesome show. We were number 1 on X again on Friday, which is really hard. Luke Sacker says, oh, God, please, no more Abe. Listen, bud, if you talk like that, you're going to get Abe all day long.
No, God, please, no, no, no.
Here comes the baby. I appreciate you guys, all of your purchases at the For Liberty Shop store, your Rumble rants, helping us to grow the For Liberty Network. You guys are already putting money in the pocket of people like Daniela and Brian and those folks. Look at that cute little sweet baby, little red-headed baby. Aww. She's so beautiful. She's still trying to sleep there. Look at her with her eyes all closed. Thank you for sharing her with us, Steffi. You can sit down. I'll put the camera on you guys. We'll say goodbye to the audience and remind them that if you haven't already, now's a good time to visit the Grift Shop. On your way out, exit through
forlibertyshop.com.
That's right. Visit forlibertyshop.com. Get yourself some delicious Founding Flavors coffee. New flavors coming to the pods soon. And lots more exciting things coming this fall. It's election year, so it'll be a lot of cool shirts.
Yeah, and Hazel is just growing every single day. She's been smiling, laughing.
She's getting so big.
Grabbing at things. So she's able to hold on to like this little chew
Look at her
toy
grabbing your hair right there.
She loves grabbing my hair. She grabs onto her bottle more so.
We love to see it. And I love especially that she smiles. She like wakes up when she sees my face. She looks up at me and she just smiles and smiles. It's just so beautiful. Love to see it. Just, just know, guys, that, we're real people and, we're not just other people on the other side of the screen. So what you do to help support the Wake Up America show, even if it's just a like, or if you click follow before you leave, that helps us. It builds our family and it builds our business. And we're grateful to you as fellow Americans. Thank you for supporting our message of economic freedom. And thank you for supporting my beautiful family.
Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoy seeing Hazel.
Yeah, so do you want to give me the baby as we say goodbye?
Sure.
Let me say goodbye with the baby. Give me that sweet little delicious baby. Hello, sweetheart. How are you doing? Your eyes are opening up. Looky here. Look at this sweetness. Look how big she's gotten.
She's at least over 12 pounds.
Beautiful girl.
When I took her in for her 2-month appointment a couple weeks ago, she was 12 pounds.
Get a little smile out of you, baby.
She's above the curve in terms of weight, her head size, height.
Look at her. Look at the baby. It's your dad. Good morning.
She's basically already wearing 3-month clothes.
Oh, you yawn. It's early. It's early. Look at her looking at the camera. She's like, what's going on in this world, Dad?
She's like, hey, guys. I have a little voice for her.
Let's hear it.
She's like, hey, guys. It's Hazel. I like to watch scuba with my dad. I walk into the bedroom at night after I get done washing up, and Austin's got Hazel on the pillow, sitting up, and they're watching scuba.
Look at the color of that baby's hair. Is that not the most beautiful thing you've ever seen?
It's basically my color, I think.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks for supporting the cause of liberty and libertarian redheads and the Wake Up America show on the Freedom Family. You guys, Culturama. Coming soon. Liberty Tonight. Coming soon. It's the For Liberty Network. If you want to see the previews of the content that you can't see anywhere else before the shows drop, you got to go to forlibertynetwork.com. You'll have to be a monthly sustaining member there to see the behind the scenes stuff on our locals page. So go to forlibertynetwork.com. Thanks for supporting our Freedom Family. And Stephanie says,
be free.
Be free, guys. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend. Love you. We'll see you on Monday on the Wake Up America show on the For Liberty Network.
Do we break down?
The Wake Up America show's bonus content. Your financial support helps keep the show on the air and grows our For Liberty network to add new voices and new shows to the fight for liberty. Today's story considers how a judge stopped a California law targeting election misinformation. A federal judge recently blocked a California law targeting election misinformation, citing First Amendment violations. This law, known as Assembly Bill 2839, aimed at curbing deceptive election communications, was deemed overly broad by Judge John A. Mendez of the Eastern District of California. The law prohibited distributing advertisements or communications with materially deceptive content within a set time frame around elections. Critics argued that it suppresses free speech rights. Content creator Christopher Coles challenged the law, claiming it restricted his right to produce parody content. Coles, who has a popular YouTube channel, often creates political parodies. He argued that the law infringed on his ability to make satirical content about political figures. Judge Mendez sided with Coles, emphasizing the law's lack of narrow tailoring. Mendez noted that the law did not use the least restrictive means for achieving its goal. He suggested that counterspeech is a more appropriate alternative to banning content outright, regardless of its offensiveness. The law aimed to address issues like deepfakes and false speech misrepresenting political opponents. However, Mendez pointed out that it inadvertently penalized a broader spectrum of speech beyond intended targets. While the law drew comparisons to defamation restrictions, it lacked the precision of defamation laws. The statute extended to any false material likely to harm a candidate's reputation or electoral prospects, exceeding traditional legal standards. The law did attempt to exempt parody, but the requirement for disclosure was deemed burdensome. It mandated the disclosure to match the largest font size in visual media, which Mendez found excessive. One provision that survived scrutiny was the requirement for audio-only media to include disclosures at the beginning and every 2 minutes thereafter. This part was deemed constitutionally valid. Mendez acknowledged California's interest in protecting elections, but emphasized that such interests must be pursued narrowly. The ruling highlights the balance between regulating digital misinformation and preserving free speech traditions. The decision underscores the First Amendment's protection of critique, parody, and satire. While digital misinformation is a concern, the fear of it should not override fundamental free speech rights. Mendez's ruling serves as a reminder of the importance of narrowly tailored laws, especially when they intersect with free expression. The case reflects ongoing tensions between legislative measures and constitutional rights. California's legislative body faced a setback in its efforts to address misleading election content. The ruling may influence future legislative approaches to digital misinformation. The case highlights the challenges of regulating content in an increasingly digital and media-saturated landscape. Legislators must tread carefully to avoid infringing on protected speech while combating misinformation. As digital platforms evolve, so too must the strategies to address false information. This ruling suggests that any approach must align with constitutional freedoms. The decision illustrates the complexities of balancing state interests with individual rights in the context of modern media. Future legislative efforts will need to consider these constitutional constraints. This legal development is a pivotal moment in defining the boundaries of free speech and misinformation regulation. It emphasizes the enduring significance of the First Amendment in contemporary legal discourse.
By high prices and big government? Don't be a ghost of your former self this Halloween. We've got shirts that'll keep the ghouls and the government off your back. Inflation's scarier than any haunted house, but hey, why not turn it into a costume? Or how about our spooky government shirt? Guaranteed to spook anyone who's afraid of too much power. But if you're feeling real edgy, nothing says Halloween like our Michael Myers No Lives Matter shirt. Cause when it comes to big government, we all get slashed. At forlibertyshop.com, we believe in freedom, not fear. So grab your libertarian Halloween gear before the government takes an extra bite out of your wallet. Or your candy. forlibertyshop.com. Let's make Halloween tax-free.
Hello, this is Barack Obama, and let me tell you why Austin Peterson stinks, and you should never pay attention to anything that he has to say. First of all, he's a libertarian, and we all know libertarians are idiots. They don't realize how important government is to everything that we do. I recently became aware that Austin has opened up a libertarian shop at apforlibertyshop.com. Now, I'm asking you as a personal favor to me that you never ever visit apforlibertyshop.com. With all of the great Liberty merchandise there, the last thing that we need to do is to get people spreading this message around the country, because then they might start thinking that they don't need government. And that's the last thing that good Democrats like us want. So if you love democracy, like me, and hate freedom, then don't visit AP for Liberty Shop. Like I said, whatever you do, do not visit apforlibertyshop.com. I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
I would remind you that extremism in the defense of liberty is no vice.
It is better to settle these matters in the courts than on the streets, and new laws are needed at every level. But law alone cannot make men see right.